Alright, hello guys, and welcome back to the channel here today. Yes, I am back. Thanksgiving break currently. I just really recording here. This is really gonna be an update really about the series. You know, this series really as an entire whole today. You just really want to go over the future of the series and what my plan is because some things have changed since I left. I've been gone for a few months now in college, and I thought let's just do it against kind of the background of this MLB draft episode here that we're showcasing. Just really, this is obviously the draft is going on here, and I'll explain some things about the draft and how it works and everything, of course. But really, a lot of this video is just going to be me talking about the future of this series, guys. Just what we're going to be expecting, what you guys can be expecting from this series as we go forward here in this franchise mode. Now, in real life, just some context, we have played the playoffs, or my brother more specifically played the playoffs, and you see here, Connie Darnell is being drafted #1 overall by the Seattle Crazy Jacks, actually. So Connie Darnell is your #1 draft pick right now, and we will show you these players and their ratings and everything afterwards and after the draft is over. But Connie Darnell, the #1 overall pick in the 2027 MLB draft here in this franchise. Now, again, my brother played the regular season, the rest of the regular season. I left when we were at the draft. Not when we were at the draft. I left when we were at the All-Star break. Molly and Blank getting picked there #2. I left when we were in midway point in the season, and I have recordings up until the All-Star game. The All-Star game is amazing, by the way. You're going to want to stick around for that game. I am gonna have so much fun calling that game. The All-Star game is gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait to do that episode because that game was insane, the best game of the entire series. But I digress. Really, we were there. That's when I left, right? So I went back. I went to college. My brother was here the entire time, and he finished the season for me. So he went through everything. He went through the regular season. He finished the regular season. Actually, no, never mind. I should take that back. We were in the playoffs when I left, actually. So what we had, I had clips. I put clips onto my one USB drive that I had, and I could only put enough clips from until the All-Star break. Then my USB drive that I had ran out of space, right? But what could I do? Because I was going to try and get all the clips that we had from just, everything that we were able to get up until I left. I was going to plan on getting all those clips and being able to edit videos for you guys and pump them out when I got back from breaks and stuff. So that was the plan originally, but it kind of fell apart because the second USB drive clip that I actually bought another USB drive, and that one kind of failed because when I actually put that USB stick into that, my PlayStation, there was some other stuff that I had to set up, I guess, before I actually could even put clips onto that USB. So basically, the clips didn't actually go onto that USB stick, and I deleted all the clips that were on that PlayStation. So basically, everything after the All-Star break up until the two wildcard games that we had in the franchise, all of that is pretty much entirely gone. I do not have any of that anymore. I have no clips from the All-Star game to there. And then while I was gone, Blake played the playoffs by himself. And realistically, I kind of wanted him to not play, but I also realized I was going to be gone for forever. And, it is kind of, I knew he was going to end up kind of playing the game anyway, so I wasn't really upset about that. But basically what I'm telling you is I don't have any way to show you anything that happened after the All-Star break this season. I don't have any clips of what happened after the All-Star break in gameplay-wise, and I don't have any playoff material for you guys, with the exception of some wild card game material. I think I do actually have a clip of a wild card game that was actually a walk off. I think I have a clip of that, but that is pretty much it. I don't have anything else. So, unfortunately, it is a little bit upsetting because that definitely interrupts the flow, right? So basically, what you guys are gonna see is we're gonna build up to the All-Star break like we normally would have. This video is gonna be out of order, kind of, because there was actually supposed to be another video before this one happens, but because of everything that happened, I wanted to explain everything to you guys. But basically, what you guys are going to see is you're going to see the normal build-up to the All-Star break. You're going to see the All-Star games happen. You're going to see the Home Run Derby happen. And then we're not going to have anything from the All-Star break until the playoffs. And right now, I'm recording an opening day game downstairs as we speak right now. So, unfortunately, it's just not, you guys are not going to have any footage of what happened when the season was ending, which is really suck. It really does suck. It's very unfortunate. I really wish I could change that. If I could go back, I would definitely make sure that I could have actually put clips onto that other USB, because if I was able to put clips on that USB, then there wouldn't have been an issue, because I would have had all the clips on that USB to actually edit, and it would have been fine. You would have missed the playoffs still, because I wasn't here when that was happening. You would have still missed the playoffs, but you would have gotten the end of the regular season. So, basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of set up who made the playoffs. Basically, after the All-Star break game, we're gonna kind of fast forward to next season. We're gonna give you a update on all the players, how these players did. We're gonna give you a stats update for everyone at the end of the year, beginning of this next upcoming season. So that video is gonna be a while, and it's just gonna be me really going through stats, going through what did this team do, and record-wise in the playoffs. What happened to them after the All-Star break, and what players did really well and what players didn't. So we do have the offseason already completed as well. That's another thing. The offseason is already done, and we are, of course, in opening day right now as I speak. I'm recording an opening day episode right now downstairs. But, I'm going to go over, recap what happened in the offseason as well. What free agents went where. Kind of go over that. What happened to the free agents and everything. This free agency class was insane. Absolutely insane, by the way. Honestly, one of the deepest free agency classes I've ever seen in MLB The Show. I don't think I've seen this many, really big free agent signings in one off season like this before. There's so many. There's so many guys to talk about that went to different places and went to different teams in this offseason. So, really, really, really going to go in depth on that. And, then I'm going to have another predictions episode as well afterwards. That's going to be separate from the recap video. But I'm going to have a predictions video. I'm going to predict who the Rookie of the Year is going to be. I'm going to predict the award winners. I'm going to predict the records for every team. I'm going to predict who makes the playoffs. I'm going to predict who actually wins the World Series. It's just going to be one big prediction episode. And also going to be really talking about how how the offseason went for every team, and how the free agents that everybody got, how those guys are going to change the psychology of the team in general, right? So that's what we're really going to do in that preview episode, is just is just really set up this upcoming season. Now in this episode we're really going to be, this is the draft right here. This is the competitive balance. So we actually just flew through the first round of this draft. This is my brother drafting right now. He's really good at this. I actually do not really ever draft in this game. So, basically you scout people, and that bar that you see there is a scale. So you see how some names have a green bar next to their names. Some players have a yellow bar. Some players have a red bar. That just means how well those players are scouted. So, for example, here, in this group here, this Timmy Royale guy is very well scouted because he has green scouting accuracy. But for some other guys, we have guys that are in the yellow that aren't scouted as well. Then the red guys, basically, you don't know what you're gonna get. You didn't scout that player at all, so that player could be what they say they are on their little overall potential thing here, that the player card that they're showing, or they could be complete bust. You have really no idea. Just accuracy means how close you're gonna get to finding a player that is as close to what their ratings say they're gonna be as possible. That's how this scouting works. We have scouting on auto because if you try to do scouting for every team, that would take forever. It just would not be possible. But basically Blake is looking here through guys that have potential and guys that are scouted. So, he's choosing guys that have that are good scouting accuracy, that have good potential, and that have pretty decent stats, or look like they might have pretty decent stats. He's going to be picking those guys, and that's how kind of the draft works in this game. And that's how my brother is doing it right now. That's kind of the process that you're seeing on screen right now behind you, is Blake is just going through the scouting accuracy of these players and just saying, okay, that Lewis Gill guy, he looks alright, but the other guy before him looks a little bit better, so I'm going to choose him. It's really, there's not a perfect science to drafting in this game. It's pretty random. It is pretty random, realistically, but I just really needed to use this as a backdrop to talk about what is going to happen. So, picking up for us before, we're going to do that recap. We're going to do the kind of the preview of the upcoming season. Now, I will be leaving again for a few weeks between, Thanksgiving and beginning of Christmas break. So, I don't really know what the plan is there. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my brother and just kind of be like, okay, hey, how much of the season do you actually want to play while I'm gone for a few weeks? Can you please just try to record everything? Because if I'm gone and Blake plays and Blake records, he has the CPU play sometimes, but he's still there recording, for me, that works. For me, that is perfect. That's exactly what he needs to do. And for me, I can edit and I can make videos perfectly out of that. Now, I'm thinking is what's going to happen is this Christmas, because PlayStations are so dang hard to find, because we're probably not going to find a PlayStation, let's be honest. We're probably not going to find a PS5 at Christmas time. They just don't have them in stock yet. It's looking very, very unlikely that we're going to get a PlayStation and a PS5, anytime soon. It's not looking like we're going to get it at Christmas time. But what we could do, and what I think we might end up doing here, is I might bring the MLB The Show 20 video game that we're recording all this on back to the dorm room with me, and my brother can buy the new game, have the new game, and he can play the new game, so I can bring the other older game back to my dorm room. My roommate does have a PS4 that I can use, and, being able to record on there. So, that's kind of the plan. That's kind of how I see it working out. And then, obviously, the first chance we get that PlayStation's, PS5s can actually be bought with some realistic activity. The first chance that happens, obviously, we're getting the PS5, and I'm getting the PS4 from my brother, and then we'll do it that way. But right now, I might have to use another person's PlayStation to kind of record. Still trying to really figure that out, but that might be how it works. After Thanksgiving, after Christmas break, You know, during Christmas break, during Christmas time, there's a month that I'm here. And during that month, I'm going to be cranking out videos for you guys. I'm really going to be editing videos hardcore. I'm really going to be doing a lot of the voice work. You know, they're just going to be... I'm going to try to get videos out to you guys a lot. When that month that I'm gone, in between Thanksgiving, or actually, when I'm home for Christmas time. Really going to try and get as many videos out for you guys as I can during that time. But the hope is that when I come back, I will have a way to actually record, and I will have the game, and I will be able to bring it back with me. That's the hope in the end. That's what I really need, is I just need the game. I just need a way to be able to record without being there, and, you know, that's really the biggest thing for me. Also, getting a microphone is important. I will be looking into doing that next semester in college. I will be probably be buying a Yeti microphone. And, you know, I don't know when exactly that purchase is going to happen. But that's what I'm going to probably do, is end up buying a Yeti microphone and using that, because right now I'm using a pretty crappy microphone right now. As you can probably tell from the videos, the audio quality is not the best. So I want to use an actual kind of professional microphone in the future. So I am going to be buying an actual mic to use here pretty soon. Usually, you know, that I'll kind of update you guys when I'm actually going to be buying that. But I will have that microphone at some point in the future. What else? I just, you know, it just really sucks for me, because we had some good clips, man. We had a really interesting playoff race at the end between, you know, Ontario and Michigan. Really, really interesting. Those two teams fought for a playoff spot in the entire end of the season, and they actually came down right to the end of the season. Those two teams fighting for a playoff spot, so... You know, it is unfortunate that couldn't be recorded. As you can tell, probably sick, coughing a lot still. I was really sick last week. I'm getting over it now. I'm not coughing as much, but the cough is still there. So if you hear me, like, kind of just going off in the background and you hear a little bit of cough, that's what's happening. But, yeah, I mean, there was some other moments that I really wish I captured and that I really wish I was able to keep. Yeah, it just sucks. I did not plan this very well. That's the thing. And honestly, if I really wanted to do this, I should have started recording this stuff when we started. Because we started this, you know, this creative franchise. We made this franchise, what? Ooh, like 2-3 years ago? Me and my brother started, that's when we started really making the jerseys, really doing the fantasy draft, really just making everything. Was a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. I should have recorded then. I should have been like, okay, this series is an awesome idea. I want to start getting into broadcasting, so I'm going to record this series. I'm going to do videos on this. That's what I should have done. I should have started doing that. Really, I should have started doing that when we started this series from the very beginning. And I am kind of upset that I wasn't able to do that, because now I'm in a spot where I'm not even here for a lot of the year. I have to take these big breaks in between doing this stuff, and I want to be more consistent about it, but I just can't. So, you know, I think I ended up starting this at kind of the wrong time. I definitely should have started this franchise earlier. I should have committed to doing this earlier. But, you know, now that I'm doing it now, I do realize I was a little bit underprepared to just fully launching into it this season. And yes, especially with college and everything, you know, I definitely should have done it last year, for sure, just so I had that 1 year of experience. But, you know, for me, this is a really beginning experience. I don't really need this to turn into anything. I don't even need to be making money from this. This is just a hobby for me. This is just something I really enjoy doing. And so I'm not totally worried about it right now. You know, obviously, if I was doing this, somehow doing this for actually, you know, actually for my job or something, then I would be caring a lot more. But you know, I still do care. I put a lot of effort into these videos, believe me. It's a lot of time editing these videos. It's a lot of time recording these videos. It's a lot of time playing these games that you guys see from these videos. So it takes time. It takes effort. And, you know, I'm glad that I am doing it right now, but I should have started it earlier. That's what I'm trying to say here. But, you know, this is really just, for me, this is really something that's just more fun, honestly, than anything else. It's just more fun for me to do this and than anything else right now. So that's really the biggest thing for me about this whole franchise is this is supposed to be something that's fun. This is supposed to be a hobby for me. It's just because I love this idea of a franchise so much, and I just really love the idea here. I love these jerseys that we've made. I love this universe that we've built, and I just love doing this. I really do. I really like, you know, trying to announce these games like I'm actually there. That's my favorite part. You know, the editing can be boring at points for sure, but my favorite point for me is just going in here and recording these games, getting excited, you know, at these games that I'm seeing here, and just trying to bring that excitement to you guys. That's what I try to do. That's what's fun for me, is just going and just really trying to just show my excitement for my franchise. This franchise, what I built, what me and my brother have built. That's really what I just want to show. That's what I hope shines through to, you know, everybody that watches this, and anybody you know, that really watches these videos for sure. You just, you know, I just want to see. I just want to see my passion. I just want them to see the passion that I have for this kind of stuff just really come through when I'm making this kind of stuff. So, I guess I'm just really talking from the heart here. I don't think anybody's going to watch this video. This video is probably very, very boring. This is really not a typical kind of video. This honestly has started to turn into a vlog. But, you know, I don't think anybody's going to watch this. But just really wanting to lay out kind of the reasoning behind why I even started this, why I'm even continuing this. Because, honestly, with all the work that I've kind of lost recently, it would be so easy for me to just say, you know, I tried, I got good clips, but what's the point? I'm gonna end it now. You know, I really could just quit. You know, that the All-Star break game could be my final game that I do, and I could just say, you know, I don't have anything else for the rest of the season. This is pretty much a failure, and I could just quit, but I'm gonna try and keep going. I really am, and maybe I don't even really start this as, you know, maybe I don't even get my flow down, and maybe this doesn't really start becoming any professional until the freaking third year that I even started recording videos in this franchise. Right now, it's just such a mess. So maybe I don't even figure it out really until, you know, we're already 3 years into the freaking starting to actually record gameplay of this stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what this is going to turn into, honestly. I don't know if this is something that, you know, I hope this is something that I just do in my free time. But yeah, it's, you know, it's really laying it down. I'm going to get some water. My throat, you know, my throat has been really, really sore for the past week. And my voice has been really scratchy for the past couple of days. I don't really know how my voice is going to even sound on the microphone today. My voice might sound pretty bad on the microphone. It does anyway, but it might sound really bad today, based on, you know, what I've had, how sick I've been this week. But I'm going to get some water really quick. I think we're in the second round of this draft, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct? Am I correct in my assumption here? I think we're in the second round of this draft here. If we get a... No, we're in the third round. Wow, okay. So yeah, I mean, we're getting to this point in the draft now that nobody really has any scouting accuracy. So basically, from here on out, these teams are taking shots on the dark on all of these players. There's really nobody that's left in the green. There's few that are remain in the yellow. At this point, accuracy is pretty much out of the window. These teams are just taking guys that are just those guys that maybe they could do it. I mean, look at the Blue Sox. They have no. I mean, that was a yellow pick right there, but just we're running out of guys with a lot of scouting accuracy here. So pretty soon we're gonna see guys taking really big shots on these guys in the red that don't have any scouting accuracy whatsoever. But again, I will be showing off what these prospects look like at the end. I also want to explain kind of how I want to do drafting and prospects overall in this franchise as well. That's something I want to get to. So we'll talk about that later here. I need to get some more water in my system. Okay, so these guys here, I don't know if this is gonna happen because this would take a lot of time. But if you've watched any other YouTuber make franchises like this where they have these draft classes, if you watch any other YouTuber do this, you would know that prospects are named after people that are subscribed and people that support the channel. Everybody does that. T&J does that. Mr. Hurricane does that. GG9 Baseball does that. Every baseball YouTuber that I watch does this, where they're gonna name prospects out after people that support the channel. And I think this is something that I want to try and do. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do it this year because, again, it's a lot of time to do this stuff, to take it out of your time, because you have to change the name of the player, and you have to change their physical appearance, and you have to change, their name, just everything about them, basically. But I may or may not, I will eventually, at some point here as we get to round 5, we're very deep. Actually, we're going to exit the draft now. I will change these players to people that support the franchise here. That's what I'm going to kind of want to do. And, we'll talk more about that if that actually does happen. But now we're going to look at this draft class as a whole. These are the picks. So we're going to start with the Mustangs here and Brian Schmidt. Now, first round pick here for Brian Schmidt. I really like Brian Schmidt here. I will go in and change these players' ratings. I don't think he's going to be a 64 overall by the season starts. This guy's probably not going to be a 57. I will go in and I will change these players' ratings. I'm going to make these prospects better because I hate that the game does this to these prospects, but a lot of these prospects are so low rated that they're never going to get a chance in the major leagues. This guy is already 22 and he's 68 overall. How long is it going to take Marion Blake to be in the majors? It's going to take him forever unless I bump his stats up a little bit. So that's what I really like to do is I go in there, I look at the draft picks, and I raise their overalls by a pretty healthy margin usually. I raise their stats. Not their overalls, actually, excuse me. I raise their stats, and, I do that for major league players, guys that are declining that shouldn't be anyway. But for prospects, it's, it's a similar thing where a good prospect with good potential, I'm going to make his stats better so that he can actually make a major league team at some point in his career. Because if you got a guy that's 54 overall, he's never going to make the big leagues, right? So, this guy with 29 and 33 contact, for example, that guy's never going to be able to start in the majors. You're not going to put a guy out there that has that bad of contact. Like a 44 overall guy here, I get he's 18, but a 44 overall player is never going to be able to make the major leagues. Never. It's not going to happen because they don't draft. Players do not increase that much. They do not increase that much over a single season to justify having them as such a low overall when they get drafted. So what I do is I go in there and I change these stats and I make these players better just so that they can actually make it to the Major League team. Now, looking at these actual draft picks here, Juan Villanuevas looks really, really good. The overall draft here for the Ballers is pretty bad, honestly. But again, Villanuevas is a 50 overall. I mean, that's ridiculous. He's a 93 overall player, or potential-wise. I mean, come on. So Juan Villanuevas, he's going to be a lot better. I'm going to change his stats. But anyway, he's a really good player here for the Ballers. I don't really think anybody else in that draft class. That draft class is very good. Jermaine Allison here, pretty good draft pick here for the Red Wings. Their draft overall, not crazy good. Jermaine Allison is alright, I guess, though. The Bees, this is an alright draft pick. They have 3 really good picks here. I like Matthew Roberts, Lincoln Preston, and Oscar Montano. Those are 3 good picks right there. 86, 86, and 88 potential. That's good. Look at all the guys with 80 potential here for the Bomba squad. I really like this. Bill Sandoval looks really good. Right now, these are the type of ratings that I want almost every single draft pick to have. I mean, why can't the draft picks have that kind of stats? But Bill Sandoval looks really, really good there. Their first pick in this draft. Really good contact numbers. Good vision, discipline, and clutch. The fielding is pretty bad, but everything else, the hitting stats, especially the contact stats, really, really good here for 20 overall, or 20-year-old Bill Sandoval. Really like it here. And they have 2 other guys here for the Bomba squad at an over 80 overall potential-wise. So, honestly, a pretty good draft. Actually, they have 3 more guys. So, they have 4 guys total with an over 80 overall, 80 potential range here. So, I like this draft. This is a good draft by the Bomba squad. Nobody too absolutely insane here in this class, but 4 really solid, good potential players right here for the Minnesota Bomba squad in their first 4 picks. I'd say that's a good draft for Minnesota. Again, the rest of those guys, they're not very good, but you take those top 3, you really, really, really take Bill Sandoval there. You know, again, really like him. I'm going to go in there and I just, I'm going to have to change up the stats about a lot of these players, honestly, because the game does this to so many of these draft picks, and it just puts them at such a ridiculously low starting point. I feel like it does this for, just more than half of the players in the league. But now, look at this pick by the Dragons. I'm going to change his stats because he's a 46 overall. Like, come on. Never going to make the majors, but I will make him a lot better. But a 96 potential 19-year-old catcher for the Dragons. Now, if you remember, they do have Diego Gulen on this team. I honestly think Jorge Cabrera could be a good draft chip to use, or a trade chip to use, for the Dragons. But man, Jorge Cabrera, he looks really darn good right now here at this first overall pick. Really like him. I like Elmer Mercado here for the Vipers. Other than that, this draft was pretty terrible. El Mercado is good. He's got bad walk per 9 and clutch and control, but everything else is pretty darn good. He's already a 70 overall. Already a pretty decent pitcher here. Elmer Mercado, honestly, is not going to take that long to reach the Major League club here for the Vipers. That's a good first-round pick. That's a good pick here from Tampa Bay. I like Elmer Mercado here in this spot. Now, Connie Darnell was the number 1 overall draft pick. And, man, what a pick here. Again, 46 overall, which is ridiculously low. Will go in there. I'm definitely going to fix this guy's stats for sure. This guy's going to be at least a high 50 overall player by the time I increase his numbers. I get it. He's only 18, so You know, he has a lot of time to go, but this is just ridiculous for the starting point. But my goodness, is Carney Darnell insane. This is the #1 overall draft pick again here by the Lumberjacks and the Crazy Jacks, excuse me. And my goodness, he is insane looking. First baseman that bat and throws righty. 99 potential here for Carney Darnell. This guy looks like the real deal. Really, really good draft pick here. And I mean, that's what you want to get, that you have a #1 overall pick. Use him on a guy with 99 potential, a guy that's going to be the future of your franchise, really, right here for the Crazy Jacks. Great first pick there. This draft class, it's all right, I guess. Emo Villanueva is all right. He's pretty good. Now this is a bad draft class. I'm not even gonna really talk about that draft class. That was bad. But now Ryan Slater has some good stats there. His potential is not very high. I mean, it's an 80 potential basically, so it's not terrible. But Alfonso Acosta's all right there, and Tommy Back here for Montana got some pretty good contact numbers, but that's about it. He's got 89 potential, so decent pick here. Everything else not very great. I think we're getting close to the end of looking at these players here. A few more teams to go through. And I think we've gotten past a lot of the really good prospects here. Now, Alfonso Calderon is a 90 overall, 90-plus potential guy here at 51 overall. Really, really bad hitting stats right now. But he does have a potential. It is low A, but it's still an A potential player. Sergio Santana, I mean, this is a team that, you know, is going to be going for a championship, and that is a really good pick there. They get two guys. You take that. I mean, two guys with high B potential in your draft. When they were picking that low, they were picking low in this draft, and they got an 88 and an 86 potential guy. Very, very good. And then they got another 80 potential player there, and Geoff Quizada. I'm not sure how to pronounce that really, but really good draft here by one of the best teams in baseball. That is a brilliant draft. Way to go. Get three guys that are really good. Now, this team is doing really good this season, and man, did they get some draft capital. Billy Arnold looks really good here, 19. B potential, very high B, 89. They have a 90. They have an A potential player here in Jamal Green. Wow, okay. Basically two A potential guys right there. Tim Lucero looks all right as well at 84. They had a lot of picks in this draft, I guess. But they had some probably competitive balance picks, I'm guessing. But really good. Billy Arnold and Jamal Green. Those two guys are steals. Especially Jamal Green, an A potential player in, I don't know if that was the second round or the third round of the draft. But that was that's late to get your third pick. If you can get a 90 overall guy, that is pretty darn good for the Cougars there. Not a great draft class here for the Trojans. That's pretty bad there. Robbie Betts, all right, 93 potential. Pretty darn good there. He's a switch hitter. Throwing lefty. He's a starting pitcher, okay. He looks pretty darn good there. This team kind of needs pitching talent, so he'll help them out in that department for sure. Another team with a lot of draft picks. They got a few B potential players here. Barry Belcher, one of them. He's pretty well-rounded there at 86. 88 potential for Alfton Rector. And 87 potential for Ricky Franklin here. So, good job here. This is a pretty good draft for St. Louis and the Sluggers. How many more teams? We gotta be getting close here to the end with all these teams. Just signing up these draft picks here right now. The guys that have not already been signed, I believe you already signed most of these guys. I think we got the National League West basically left, and that's it. Now, Omar Mortada, Montano, I did not pronounce that correctly. Yikes. He looks pretty, I mean, that's got some good contact stats there. Pretty good there. I like him. He is already 22, so a little bit older for a prospect, but so is that guy. He's also 22. So a couple of older draft picks here for Las Vegas. I don't really know if I like that because this team is in a deep rebuild, so they kind of need really young guys, but still a couple of good potential players here, basically 90 potential guys. That's all right. Ooh, another amazing draft. Man, I mean, this team has done such a good job drafting over the last few years, and they add another stud pick to their already amazing farm system. Andres Quezada, a first baseman, righty here. That is exceptional. He is not very well rated right now. I'm going to fix those stats for sure, but man, 94 potential. One of the best potentials in the entire class. I mean, they just do it again. They just keep going with all these amazing draft picks. Another really good pitcher here in Jose Encarnacion. They have a ton of those. A ton of great pitchers in their farm system. Ton of young pitchers in their team already. That's not a great draft. They have Gilberto Mendoza, but that's about it there for Honolulu. Tide's not doing. Oh, Mendoza is 25 years old already. Do not like that pick. 25 years old. Man, that's not. I do not like that pick. I do not like this draft by the Tides. That is. He's got good potential, but he's 25 and he's not good. Like, if you want to draft a guy that's that old, you need him to be a starter immediately, basically. This guy is not ready. Not even close to being ready for the big time. And not a good draft. I do not like that draft pick. Do not like this draft as in general. Now, I think we have one more team left here. I think the Sharks are the last team we got. Yes, they are. And not a incredible draft here for San Diego. They got one pretty good beat potential player here in Alex Alfonso, but that's about it. So that's it. That's the draft episode. A lot of talking here by me, just explaining what this franchise is going to look like going forward. We'll have gameplay. Gameplay is coming up. Don't you worry. It doesn't go anywhere. I have videos already fully edited and just ready to go down the pipe. So I'll get those out to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys for your support on this series. It really means a lot. So I will say goodbye for now, and I'll be back soon. Thank you guys for watching. We've been listening to Lucas from Mars. Have a wonderful day and have a great Thanksgiving break. Guys, have some great food and some great family time. See you guys later.